Sliema's name originates from the Arabic salem, meaning peace. This is Malta's most recent and most fashionable holiday resort. We can have a bath in the small rocky bays. However, this kind of beach cannot really be mistaken for the Copacabana. Along the winding promenade, there are luxury apartments and hotels overhanging. At the end of the promontory, the huge casino building is located, close to Malta's highest building, the 24-story Porto Masso Tower. Shops and catering places border the way. The center of the quickly improving city is Paceville, which is a verdurous residential quarter on the hillside. Among the many modern houses, it's a real refreshment to our eyes to see the wonderfully decorated block. The local people like swimming in the sea. However, the hotels have their own bathing pools, and there's also a swimming pool where water polo matches are held from time to time. St. Julian's Bay shows different faces during daylight and in the evening floodlight. Most tourists spend the daytime in the hotel's bathing pools, or going out for a boat trip, or sightseeing in the town. In the evenings, crowds invade the restaurants, ice cream bars, discotheques, and bars of the St. Julian's Bay and its surroundings. On the whole island, the nightlife here is the biggest. The average age in the discotheques is extremely low, only 14 or 15 years, but older people can also find their own pleasure grounds. Luxury yachts and the fishermen's over-fatigued small boats peacefully coexist in the bay. Restaurants of many different categories and ethnicities can be found here, and the biggest shopping center of the island, the Bay Street Shopping Center. The local people love the 5-kilometer-long decoratively covered walking way with small terraces, buffet pavilions, parks, and playgrounds alongside. The Fortizza Fortress, originating from 1872, is very popular and is also functioning as a restaurant. Shipping to the east, we pass Valletta's awesome walls. The next noteworthy settlement is Marsaxlokk. Marsaxlokk means southeastern harbor. The harbor gives a happy picture, especially on weekends when a flea market is held along the bank of the bay. The fishermen pay attention to the painting of their boats. The colors are the same: blue, yellow, green, red, yet we cannot find two similarly painted boats in the harbour. Osiris's eye is painted on their sides, which protects the boat and its owner. The degajza reminds us of the gondolas in Venice. The kajik is like a boat, while the bigger barks mainly used by the fishermen are called luzu. The shapes and colors of the boats have not really changed since the time of the Phoenicians. Of course, there's a fish market every day in the bay after the fishermen arrive with their latest catch. This is completed with a vegetable market. The products are delivered by ship from the island of Gozo. On Saturdays and Sundays, there are second-hand markets. It seems that the local people prefer markets to the shopping centres. One can hardly name a thing that cannot be obtained here. Marsaxlokk has no famous monuments, but its overall picture is typically Maltese. Napoleon landed here in 1798, but we cannot find any memory of this fact. We can find some pleasant terraced cafes and fish restaurants along the coast. Blue Grotto, namely Blue Cave. The most famous can be found on the island of Capri, but we can find similar ones on nearly every coast or island. All you need is a rocky cave or archway and the sunshine reflecting from the sea bottom, colouring the water to different shades of green or blue, depending on how deep the water is. This natural site provides a living for some clever boatmen all over the world, from Thailand to Corfu. The Maltese Blue Cave is especially nice, and the small harbour from where the boats are departing is singularly pleasant. Besides the cave, we can also admire two other formations similar to fjords. These are the Wiad Babu and the Wiad i Zuriek. Wiad means the same in the Maltese language as Wadi in the Arabic language, namely river valley or channel. The Blue Grotto is a 50-metre-long stalactite cave with some coral, although these are not so colourful as the tropical ones. The most amazing spectacle is in the morning hours, but each part of the day has its specialty. The cliff dropping abruptly to the water is broken by countless caves and hollows. In the distance of 6 kilometers, we can see the inhabited island of Filfla. The island was used by NATO for a long time, and even nowadays cannot be visited. On summer weekends, dozens of local children enjoy the water and sunshine here. The traditionally painted boats, the shining sun, the general noise of the beaches and the salty smell of the sea together make our time spent here into a special experience. Close to the Blue Cave, there's a temple group which consists of 3 individual cultic places that later were surrounded by a common wall. This is an archaic world with a mysterious symbol. It was built 3,000 to 4,000 years before Christ, and the big question is the same here as with the Egyptian pyramids. How could people move those almost 20-ton rocks? According to the science findings, those huge stone tables were altars and served for presenting victims. Just like Stonehenge, Higar Quim also provides evidence that the beginning of human civilization is older than we imagine. The nearby Manadra is a similar megalithic church, which has been closed to visitors owing to repeated vandalism. Malta was the first European territory to adopt Christianity, and mainly due to the Johnny's 300-year reign, the inhabitants are still very religious. In addition, the love of holidays is very common here.